So in this video we'll be looking at doing some advanced customizations to the look and feel of Unraid. Sounds interesting? Let's get started. Right, so if you guys have looked at the new Unraid 6.7, you'll see that it's got a really nice looking dashboard. Now I think it looks really great, but the standard banner at the top of the screen, well, I don't think it looks too hot. Now you can change the standard black or white banner to the default Unraid one, and we can also put in our own banners as well. Now whilst I do like surfing, I think it'd be much more cool to have a Star Wars AT-AT walker walking across the top of the screen in my banner instead. So that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to be looking at customizing the web UI with cool customized banners. But not only that, we're going to look at how we can remove the Unraid logo in the top left hand corner. Because while it looks nice in this banner, in other banners it can not look so good. So we're going to look at how we can remove and replace that when we want to. But also, we're going to look at how we can have the server actually change the banner automatically on a time schedule of our choosing, maybe having the banner change once every hour. And for this we can use either animated banners or just standard static banners. Okay, so we'll go through things in the following order. 1. How to remove the Unraid logo. 2. How to automatically change banners. And finally 3. How to make an animated banner. Okay, so let's start with removing the Unraid logo. In the description you'll see a link to a zip file. Download that and put it in the desktop. We're going to need it. So once you've unzipped the file, you'll see a folder, and inside which you'll see some other subfolders as well. There's some animated banners that I've already created, a sample Photoshop file, some scripts, and some standard non-animated banners. So now let's go across to the Unraid WebGUI and quickly add a banner. Now for this banner I think it definitely looked better without the Unraid logo in the top, especially as it's a black and white banner and the logo's orange. Okay, so before we start there's one thing that we're going to have installed, and that's Squid's excellent user scripts plugin. So if you don't have that installed, make sure you've got that installed before you start. So now we know we've got user scripts installed, let's go back to the desktop and open our custom banners folder, and then go to the scripts folder, remove icon scripts, and then these two files here, unblank.svg and unorange.sgv. This file here is the original Unraid logo file from the banner. It's an SGV file which we replace with this similar blank one that's the same size. So what our scripts will do is overwrite the original Unraid logo file when we want it to be blank, and then put it back when we want it to show again. So now we're going to need to copy these two files and then browse across to our flash drive on the network and paste the files there. Okay, so once you've copied those two files over into the root of the flash drive, we can close this window, then reopen the custom banners, and then go to our scripts file, the remove icon scripts, and then with the text editor we want to open the removelogo.bash file. Now if you're using Windows I suggest you use Notepad++ to edit this, and then just copy the text that you see here, go back to the Unraid WebGUI, then go to Settings, User Scripts, then click Add New Script, and then give it a name, and I'm just calling mine Remove Logo, and click on the name to edit the script, and then paste in the text that you copied here, and click Save Changes. So now let's run the script and just refresh the page, and we can see now the logo's gone. So now let's minimize the page and then go back and put this other script on that will replace the logo. So again, do exactly the same, open with the text editor, copy all of this text, go back to the WebGUI, add a new script, call it replace logo, and paste that text in here, and click Save Changes. So now when we run the second script and refresh the page, the Unraid logo's back. And again, to remove it, we just run the original script. So I think with this black and white banner, it definitely looks better without the logo here. But we can see here the version in red, that doesn't look quite as good as I'd like it to. So maybe let's change the colour of the writing to be white. So I'm going to put in for the header custom text colour here 6Fs, which is white, and click apply. And now all of the writing at the top's changed to white, and I think that looks really nice. So that's how to remove the logo. So now let's move on and see how we can automatically replace the banners in Unraid with another script. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is browse to the shares on our server and go to the system share, and we're going to create a new folder here called banners. Then inside of this folder here, we're going to put all of the banners which we want to have that will be able to be randomly changing through. So I'm going to open up this folder here, custom banners, and I'm going to select all of these animated banners I've got here and pop them in, and also all of the standard banners that I've got here as well. Okay, so now we can close these two windows. Now let's open our custom banners folder again and go to scripts, and then go to banner change script, and then let's edit this with the text editor again and copy all of this script and go to the desktop on Unraid, back to settings, user scripts, and then let's add a new script. I'm going to call it auto banner change. Let's click on its name, edit script. Now let's paste in that script and click save changes. And what that script will do is it will randomly pick a file out of that folder and then copy it into the correct place where Unraid sees the banner and load it in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the schedule here to hourly and click apply. If we want to just see the script working, we can just click on run script now and then refresh the page. And we can see here I've got my Star Wars AT-AT walking again, and just click run script again and refresh the page. And now this time I've got an animated banner from Blade Runner. Okay, so that's how we change banners automatically. It's really easy, really straightforward. So now let's go on and see how we make animated banners. Okay, so let's get started and create a new banner. So I'm going to open up Photoshop and go to File and then New. And the size we need the banner to be is 1270 by 90. That size seems to work well. But I've already got a Photoshop file here that I'm going to use for this. So obviously the first thing to do is to choose a background and put that in here. Now I've got one already created here. And what I want to do is I want to replace the Unraid logo with something different on this side. And again, I've got something for that here. I've got a custom Linux logo and I'm going to put that there. And I want there to be Unraid written over the top. So I've already prepared the text and put that over the top there. Let's just zoom in a bit here. So this is basically going to be the first slide of my animated ping. So I'm going to save this and select format as PNG, and I'm going to call it banner_A and click save. And I've set this to the smallest file size, and that's because the largest actual file we can have for a banner I think is 512K. So we need each of these to be as small as they can when we make up the animated ping. So I'm going to click OK to save. So what I want to have now is in the center, I want various logos to come up of different VMs I'm running. So again, I've already got these files in, so I'm just going to select Windows here, and I'm going to have the Windows logo. I wanted to make sure I got this right in the center of the banner. And to do that, what I did is I made this rectangle exactly half the size of what the banner is. And I set the opacity down to 50%. So then I could use that as a marker showing where the center of the template is. So now I'm going to save the second slide with the Windows logo in it. I'm going to call it banner B. And again, I'm going to select PNG and click save. Okay, so next I think I'm going to have the Arch Linux logo come up. So I'm going to select that one here and put this one away. And again, now save this file as banner C. And again, select as PNG. Okay, so next I'm going to have the Apple logo. Now I've got an old vintage one here, so I want that to come up next. And again, save the file, this time D. And next I want the Ubuntu logo, That's going to be banner E. And next I'm going to have the Docker logo, and let's save that. Okay, so those are all the operating systems and the Docker logo that I want to come up. What I want to do is in between each one of these come up, I want some lightning to come across the screen. So again, I've put some lightning bolts here. I've got one on the left hand side, and again that goes halfway across, and one on the right hand side. So I'm going to have this as an in-between slide in between each time one of the logos comes up. Hopefully that should look quite good. So again, I'm going to save this, and this one I'm just going to call banner G. Okay, so that's 7 files we've now got saved. Now there's one thing I'm just going to point out here, is I've put this logo at about the correct height so that the Unraid version information should still sit below the logo. Okay, so now all the files are created, we can now close Photoshop. Now I've linked the Photoshop file I've been using here in the description, so if any of you guys want to have a play around with it, well, it's there for you to download. So now let's go back to our browser and then go to Google and do a search for animated PNG online. And I'm going to use this first one at the top here, the easygif.com, and here I'm on the animated PNG maker. And so now I'm going to browse for the images that I just created earlier, and I'm going to select all of them and upload them to the site. And so here we can see the 7 PNG files that we created in Photoshop. And we can change the order of the files by dragging and dropping them. And I'm going to put my lightning bolts in between each slide. And I'm going to change the delay here from 20 to 50, which is about half a second between each slide. But the lightning slides in between each frame that I want to use, I'm going to set the delay lower for these slides. I'm going to put it down to 10. And now if I click the copy button, I can make multiple copies of this slide and then put one in between each one of my main frames. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the first slide stay on for about 10 seconds. So I'm going to put the delay for the first slide to 1000. And so now I'm going to press the button to make the animated PNG, and I'm leaving the compression on the default as zlib. And now we have our animated PNG, but unfortunately it's too big to use in Unraid because it's above 512 kilobytes. But anyway, let's just have a look at what the slide would actually look like. So to make it smaller, I'll take a couple of the slides out, and also to change the timing on the slides a little bit because they flash through too quickly. Okay, so we're tweaking things a bit. I've got the file size down to 455 kilobytes. And the banner, I think it looks quite good. So it's quite easy to make an animated banner, and I'm sure you guys who are far more creative than me can make some really cool ones. And here are a few different ones that I've made, and also you'll find all of these to download in the description as well. Okay R2D2, what are you doing set over to the right? Well, it looks like I didn't bother actually using my guides to set them in the centre. Oh well, never mind. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what you can do. Just makes things look a little bit nicer having something animated instead of something static. And so you can use these animated banners and also set them to change every hour or so using the script that we used earlier. Well, I suppose that brings us to the end of this video. So I hope you found this video useful, guys, and you liked it. So now you can go out and pimp up your dashboard and make your server look really awesome. So anyway, that's time for me to go. And as always, I want to give a really big thanks to all of my patrons who make these videos possible. Thanks a lot, guys. Your support really means the world to me. So like this video and subscribe if you want to. But anyway, guys, whatever you're up to for the rest of the day, I hope it's good, and I'll catch you in the next video.